7:30 on the dot. You are tuned into WFM 91.7 Women Radio, the voice of women, Nigeria's first and only radio station for women and their families. Is a beautiful day. We are in the last, I was going to say last week, but literally the last 3 days of the year 2025. 29, 30, 31, yes, the last 3 days of the year 2025, and it's surreal, but at the same time, it's so exciting, to be privileged, it should be his privileges, yes, to be part of those that are alive. It's not because we're better or anything, it's just God's mercy that's protecting us. And it's such a huge privilege. Over here at Women Radio, we hope that you enjoyed your long weekend of holidays. Uh Christmas holiday. We saw you on Christmas holiday. We saw you on Boxing Day. How was your Saturday? How was your Sunday? How are you preparing for the year 2026? I'm sure some people are very steady fasting, seeking the face of God. As to how 2027, 2026 is going to pan out for them. Maybe some people are vision boarding, you're writing things out. I'm probably gonna do that today. Have my kids around. I'm not sure. Maybe after I drop them off, like just to sit with myself and ask myself how 2027, why do I keep saying 2027? 2026 is going to pan out. For me, 2026, top of my list. Okay, January is my daughter's birthday, but in March is my birthday and it's a milestone birthday for me. So I'm really, really excited about that one as well. But let me not get ahead of myself this morning. This is the Full Breakfast Show. We're currently in the newspaper review segment of the Full Breakfast Show. If you are just tuning in, I'm going to introduce myself. Let me present myself. I had to say that thing. I'm going to introduce myself to some and present myself to the other. Yeah, or something like that. Fumi Bangbala signing in, and with me this morning is none other than the delectable, the amiable, the yeah, all the bulls.
You try. Well done, well done. Good
Drum
morning. Good morning,
roll,
Fumi. Good
good
morning, newspaper review family. How are you all? How's the weekend? The long weekend, yeah. For those of us who had to make it the usual weekend, the normal weekend, well, we're here. So yeah,
morning.
it's been good.
How
Good
was your
morning.
weekend?
Mine was good. It was okay. No, so much activities. Just the usual weekend for me. Honestly, just the usual weekend for me.
Did you go
Just
out?
I didn't necessarily go out. So funny enough, I didn't necessarily go out. I just made sure that on Saturday I was able to rest well. At least make myself talk say I rest more. So I didn't necessarily go out now. I was just able to rest well on Saturday and Sunday. Yeah.
I want
So
to say that I rested, but I tried to sleep on Saturday. I was going to sleep in, but my son woke me up and said, "Mommy, wake up! It's time to shower."
ah,
Yeah,
are you kidding me?
nope. Even the time I slept at, I think I tried to take an afternoon nap as well, and he came back and said, "Mommy, wake up! Stop sleeping! It's time to shower." My son is 2 going on 3. He's going to be 3 in May. I don't understand what is going on with him these days, and he's so bossy. So, and then even yesterday, I didn't go to church either, thinking that I would rest. The same thing he did. Mommy, wake up! It's time to shower. Meanwhile, he slept up until 9 to 10. Why was I awake? Okay, my brother was around. We were leaving, so I was trying to clean the house because my house has been a mess. So by
Mm.
the time I said let me, and then I was washing, and I said, "Oh, let me now relax so I'll sleep." He said, "Mommy, no, don't lie down there. Lie down here. Wait
Ah.
for." I'm not joking. Yeah, they say old people are giving birth to now. I am inclined to believe. I'm very
Um,
inclined to believe. Anyway, let's get into it this morning. We have quite a few things to talk about. Our analyst will be joining us shortly. But let us get into the headlines for this morning. First of all, we're starting off with the Punch newspaper. Federal government writes off $1.42 billion, 5.57 trillion naira NNPC debts. So if they are writing it off, who's going to pay for it? Because I don't think anything is for free. You know how they say, oh, something is for free. Somebody is going to pay for it somehow, somewhere. So
mm.
who's paying for it? That was a good question. When an analyst come, I'll ask him. Next up, we have 2027 battle. Makinde, Fayoshe lock horns over 30 billion naira relief fund. This has been going on for a hot minute. Thankfully, our analyst will be here so he can help us open it up and let's figure out what exactly is going on with
Going
Fayoshe
on.
and Makinde. Like, I don't know. Yeah, moving over to the Guardian newspaper.
All right, so to the Guardian newspaper this morning, Tinubu's government frolicking with a terrorist, says Ezekwesili. Okay. 34 lawyers fail integrity test, dropped from a federal high court judgeship race. Right. I think this is good. At least,
Mhm.
yeah, this is good.
In the This Day newspaper, we have Tinubu closes 2027 deal with Kano government, Yusuf concluding plans to join ruling APC. Hey. Next up,
Mm.
we have Tinubu departs Lagos for Europe, Abu Dhabi, and then ADC, of course, criticizes the trip amidst the US strike. There was a trip he was supposed to go on when the I think it was the schoolgirls. No, it was the first set, the Borno schoolgirls, and then he didn't go. So I don't know. Is that why he's going now? Who knows? Anyway, do I when I saw it as well, I was like, where is he going to? But next up we have Article Ones against forged laws declares new tax act nullity.
All right, for me, when I saw that headline, I think I saw it since yesterday, the departure of Tinubu to Europe, and I was just telling my husband that, come on, our president don't travel again. And we just made light of the whole issue. But then again, he has to go for some of, all of this diplomatic ties. He has to go for some of this, conferences, events, and all of that really needs him to be there. But, we're in the midst of a lot that's going on in the country. I just hope that, anyway, he's the president. I mean, by now, necessary plans should be in place to see that things continue to run as he's away or whenever he's away.
Mm.
All right, heading on to Daily Trust's gazetted tax laws illegal amount to forgery, says Atiku. Kidnappers of 28 plateau travelers insist on 1.5 million naira ransom per victim.
Mm.
Yeah. Well, my own is, you guys will keep on kidnapping people that, or not you guys, let me not say you guys, these bad ones or these terrorist bandits, we keep kidnapping people that when you look at their lives, total, you sum up everything, you shake them, raise them upside down. You might not even be able to get up to 500K. So and then take these people and you're demanding for 1.5 million. How do you want them to come up with it?
I don't know.
Now, how do so you make them go helter skelter, push them, like you practically take everything away from them, and then they provide you this 1.5, or maybe they negotiate with you till it gets to maybe a million or 900,000, and then you collect it from them. And then tomorrow, after some days, you still go ahead now and kidnap somebody again from that same family. Because there's some people that probably two or three people have been kidnapped already from them with their families, maybe at different times. So I mean, it's just like the one I was telling you about, some that were taken from my
From your
village.
village,
Yeah. So, like I said, that's particular day. If you shake the whole village, if you turn them upside down, plus
you
the
even
little
get
brains that they have probably kept, even if they sell it and sell all their personal belongings, you might not even get up to probably 10 million. And then yet you're asking them for close to 50 million. How did they can come up with that? Anyway, I just hope that we all of this we're hearing as regards to insecurity, the US strike, and the effort of the Nigerian government, all of that. I just hope that we get to see the light at the end of the tunnel. Honestly, I just hope we get there. Okay, let's head on to Premium Times.
mm. I think even before we go there, the issue again is, and that's what Obi Ezekwesili was saying. By the time this, like, what is the process of them getting these victims back? Is there going to be a ransom paid? Are they going to blast the place? They're going to be fights? Because I'm of course, we want these people back, but I think is a case, if somebody believes that they can always get away with whatever it is, for lack of a better word, murder, like they say, they will
Hmm.
always keep trying to get away with it because they know that you're always going to pay back. Do you understand? So for
Yeah.
me, I don't know. I don't know. Anyway, moving to the Premium Times newspaper, we have market violence preceded Saturday's fatal bomb explosion in Zamfara. Next up, we have Nigeria joins AU, Jordan, others to reject Israel's recognition of Somaliland.
Hmm.
Fayoshe accuses Governor Makinde of diverting 50 billion Ibadan Explosion Intervention Fund.
All right, heading on to the Nation newspaper. Tinubu must complete 8 years as president, says Wiki. Obala Wiki. I don't know. You'd have seen the future of Nigeria. Which one is most complete 8 years? So what if the people wake up by next year and say, no, we don't want Tinubu to complete it? So why are you putting the most? What are you doing to make sure, or what are you planning to do to make sure against all odds that, because it just sounds like it looks and it sounds like a dangerous statement to me. Tinubu must complete 8 years as president. What do you mean by must? What if the people say no? Or are you planning to go and do something else to make sure by crook or by hook that the president comes back again? What if the
And
president
8 years
himself
is not
wakes up tomorrow
even
and say, I no do again?
exactly like 8 years is not even it's not your birthright. You do the 4 years, and then
Exactly.
you what's it called? Is it the compete? You go for election, and then they bring you back on again. It's just a bit weird because why would you say he must complete 8 years? And these are the part of the
Just
bold
sounds one
statements that
kind.
these people make, and you just be like, "Waiting be this."
It just honestly sounds one kind. Must complete. Oh God, I don't know, Wiki. All right, Tinubu leaves for Europe ahead of Abu Dhabi Sustainability Summit. Ibadan expulsion, Fayoshe releases document and insists Makinde got 50 billion naira from federal government.
God,
All
I
this back
beg.
and forth between Fayoshe and Makinde. We there, yeah, we dey hear all the story. All right, so that's it on the Nation newspaper.
But moving over to the cable newspaper, they must say the president is happy with you. Wiki knocks politicians visiting rivers for article says only fresh passage, not regazetting, can validate tax reform laws.
Hmm. All right, heading on the Daily Post, all this back and forth as regards this. The president has already said that the thing will take effect by January 1. Whether
God
whether
help
we're
every
liking
single
it
one
or
of
not,
us.
it will just it will take effect at January 1. So let's see. I think we just owe, the public the right information as regards this. Once we understand it very well, we understand it better, I don't think, it's something that is going to press our neck or press us, really, because at the end of the day, I think there are some parts of this tax reforms that, could actually be beneficial. For example, when they say that, okay, there's a threshold to the annual income that will be taxed. So when you look
Mhm.
at it, how many Nigerians are up to that? And the Nigerians that are even up to that threshold that will be taxed, I mean, uh, at the end of the day, what you be taxed, I'm sure will not, be something that will be so choking that at the end of the only thing is, one reason why I feel that a lot of Nigerians are shouting as regards tax from that after you collect the money gone, where you they go, where do you they take and do, where you get, so we don't get to see the dividends of it. Because for me now, if like probably in Europe where a house is built and every facility you need for that house to work for you is actually there. There's gas supply, there's water, there's electricity, there's, almost everything there. So all you need to do is that they'll just be giving you bill. Pay for this one, pay for this one. Okay, this one, you just have 2 days left. So when you don't pay, you know that you're not having gas. Now because you don't pay, that's why gas don't come.
Yeah,
You see, at the end of the day, you see there are good roads, there are probably some sort of housing, um what do you call it, housing scheme that will
Mm-hmm.
make it affordable according to your
Mm-hmm.
own financial status. If there's this,
Absolutely.
there's that. So there are a lot of things that you, when you get to see, you wake up in the morning and you leave your house, you're seeing the dividend of the tax you're paying. Although you are paying through, the hard
Maybe
you
your nose, yeah.
yes, it's really hard. But you're seeing it every day you go out. And when you see it, you say, ah, well, thank God that this country is actually working. But in Nigeria here, are we talking about the bad roads? Are we talking about the federal infrastructures that are supposed to be there? We know see. Just yesterday, we're talking about the road between in Kaduna, between Kaduna and Jos. So I'm
Okay.
talking about between Saminaka, Jingir, and get down all the way to Plateau State. For me, that road is like a death trap. I'm not talking about insecurity now. I'm talking about the road. And that thing has been there since um when did I finish secondary school right now? I finished secondary school
Away.
in 2007. And that road has been there since like in 2001 or two that I
No.
got to secondary school.
And people still
So
pass
what are
the
we
road.
talking about?
People still
Uh-uh.
pass the road.
And the road is still is getting what people still pass it because at the end of the day, food needs to get to places. At the end of the day, people need to transact business. At the end of the day, people need to go about their usual business, and people still ply that road for crying out loud. Kaduna State government will say it's Plateau State government that should repair it. Plateau State government will say no, let's meet in the middle, let's divide it. Later they'll come and say no, it's federal road. Eba runs to, they will not do anything on it. So if so imagine I'm paying tax, and I'm seeing all of these things. And then you come, you're telling me that tax reform, taxes. I will tell you, please, 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 just leave me. I'm just looking for a way to collect money. And that's it because I will not even be interested to even understand it. But then again, anyway, so that's why I just feel there's a lot of back and forth because if we understand it and if we are seeing what the tax is used for me, trust me, you will even be paying it. You won't even bother to know because highest will just be removing it and it won't even really bother you much because you know that when you go out, there's what do you call it? There is reduced transportation, to an extent. When you go out, you know that, oh, I can afford to buy my tomatoes at a so price. When you go out, you will know that, oh, okay, I can see good road to ply. When you go, even you say for me, you go sit down and say, no, Nigerian government, now well done. This tax one they collect. Yes, it rich, it's supposed to collect. But then again, okay. I think I'm done with the cable, yeah. Abby?
I don't even know. I'm just thinking.
We cannot just use the whole time to talk about all of this.
Yes,
It's
yes, yes, yes. But then
enough.
okay, well, in the Daily Post, we have Kano people have agreed that Kwankwaso Governor Yusuf defect to APC, says Rugo. Federal government, Nigeria government mobilized 979 forest guards to boost security. The Tribune newspaper. Do you want me to take that?
Yes, no. I was just forest guards for me. 979 forest guards
I said
to
this, so
boost
I want to go into
security.
2026 in very, very in a chill mood. I don't have. You see, today I'm very chill. I don't have power.
Niger government, anyway, at the end of the day, they need to help themselves. But federal government and Niger government mobilized 979 forest guards. So yesterday I saw this headline and I was just saying that, well, it is not a way now to start saying that they're earmarking some millions of naira for these forest guards. And
Mm-hmm.
at the end of the day, these forest guards will not receive what they intend to, what they've actually put on paper to receive. So what are we saying again? I wish it's not another way to be keeping money somewhere besides funding it. Forest guards. Is that what we need at this time?
Yeah,
979.
yeah, that's what we need now. It's
There's
for it.
vigilante, there is army, there is police, there is forest guards. Nibo, how did they train them? Have you given them? Okay. Tribune newspaper. Killing opposition parties will kill Nigerian democracy, says Makinde. Another one says federal government to deploy 7,000 forest guards in 7 pilot states. So federal government and Niger government are mobilizing 979, and then now we have the it was this particular one I saw yesterday, this federal government to deploy 7,000 forest guards in 7 pilot states. And I'm just wondering, Tinubu
Eh,
departs Lagos for Europe. That's coming from the Tribune.
okay. Finally, the national dailies this morning we have from a pen pushing newspaper. Suspected thugs strip former governor's cousin naked. I said this when I was like, Haba.
Mm.
Next, finally, we have man kills childhood friend during housewarming party in Edo State.
Mm.
That's so sad though. God, I beg. I mean, it doesn't matter if the person looked for your trouble, person stole your money, stole your wife. You know, rich to the key person. No,
Oh,
it's not.
should we? There was one I read too. Yes, I don't know whether it's the same one. Man kills childhood friend in house. Yeah, I think it's the same one. Yeah, and funny enough, this childhood friend that we're talking about came back from abroad. Yeah,
Mm.
he lured him
Somebody will come
to.
from abroad to Nigeria to say, "Oh, let me come and visit friends and family," and then they're being killed by a friend.
Hmm, idea. That's what we're
That's,
seeing now.
that's
It's
so
it's just a
awful.
lot.
Okay,
Okay.
let's get into it.
For me,
Yes,
let's
please.
before we move, please. I will just Emmanuel is here. Emmanuel, good morning. Maybe today I'm in my basketball mood. I don't know. Good morning,
Good
Emmanuel.
morning.
How
You
are
are,
you?
you are.
How
I like the
you doing?
energy. I'm okay with it.
Hi, Emmanuel. How's your weekend?
I'm fine, so it's okay. Thank God. And I guess you had a lovely one yourself.
I don't know whether to term it lovely, Sha, but I had it. It was okay. It was good. It was okay.
Mm.
Man,
All
I'm
right.
busy. You didn't call me. You didn't text me. Nothing. I'm just
Oh
looking at
wow.
you. We will settle our fight afterward.
Ah, ah, seaside eye.
I know,
Ah.
I know I'm very important to you, so let's keep it
Oh
that way.
wow. Oh
I'm
wow.
in trouble. I walked into that
Oh
one by
wow.
myself. No, it's
All
okay.
right. Okay, this is 8 minutes to 8 right here on your Women Radio WFM 91.7. And this is a newspaper review. Our analyst is here. Emmanuel is with us this morning. So I just want to quickly, look at this particular headlines, Emmanuel. I'm sure you must have seen it. This 7,000 forest guards to reclaim forests from criminals. And this is from Premium Times and so many other papers that have reported this. So I just want us to touch on this a little and maybe also get your thoughts on the airstrike because today we discussed this. You were not the analyst to join us that morning, so I just want to get your thoughts on this. Now, insecurity up and down everywhere. The National Security Advisor, Nuhu Ribadu, has said that guards will serve as a critical layer in Nigeria's security architecture, and they're deploying. Nigeria trains and deploys 7,000 forest guards to reclaim forest from criminals. Now, he said that the guards completed a 3-month training program under the Presidential Forest Guards Initiative launched in May 2025 by President Bola Tinubu. The program was designed to coordinate federal and state response to worsening insecurity in forested and hard-to-reach areas. Emmanuel, please, what do you think about this? And the states that he mentioned were Borno, Yobe, Adamawa, Sokoto, Niger, Kwara, and Kebbi states. So these people are to go into the forest, and combine physical and tactical field crafts
Is the
and
way you said you have
deploy.
to go into the forest for me?
So Emmanuel Biko, what's your thoughts on this? Is this the way to go as regards to insecurity? Because sometimes it feels as if we don't have a roadmap, we don't have a clear path to actually take to fight this insecurity. Yesterday, I saw a particular headline from one blog like that, which I don't really take serious, but they said, oh, that one, according to the blog, oh, that one U.S. Army came out and saying that, oh, they have strategies in place to come out. I say it's a lie. A U.S. Army cannot come out and start talking to you about strategies. It's us, Nigeria, that will be telling you that tomorrow we want to do this one, next tomorrow we want to do this one. And, it just goes on and on. But for us here, with the airstrike that, took place on Christmas Day and all of these insecurity issues, and we ourselves, Trump say you won't do something, I mean you don't do them, and then the Nigerian government are coming out to say, it was in collaboration. I don't know. It just sounded one kind, and I was telling Fumi this collaboration, just jail sha. But then again, I don't think Trump needs our collaboration to actually do that because this is Trump we're talking about, the US president we're looking at. So I mean, let's hear your thoughts on this insecurity issues, Emmanuel, just for a few minutes before we head on to the next one.
Basically, insecurity has been something that has been ravaging us for a while. And the truth is, our forest reserve has been a place where these terrorists have found solace. And this is where they operate from before they became more emboldened and start moving into towns. So when you look at it, what happened? We had a lot of negligence manding and guiding our forest for a long time, and it has been taken over. I don't know, but I know some states have started recruiting forest guard. I know Abdurrahman Abrazak led government in Kwara State did graduation
Excellent.
for forest guard some days back. I know that okay, Kano is not forest guard. I know there are some states. I think Enugu did some Michael Jackson type of forest guard the other day. I saw them training. But the issue of forest guard has been something that has been argued, that is it under the federal government purview to recruit forest guard, or is it state government? Well, what I'm having is the fact that federal reserve will be manned by federal forest guard, and state reserve will be manned by state forest guard. Don't forget that there's an expansive forest that stripes towards the Kanji Lake area game reserve, all through to I think they call the place, is it Wari Wow, I think, not the one you have here, that is close to Benin Republic, and Karamunde, those areas in Niger State. These are areas that we have Lakurawa group has been said to be operating. So when you look at that expanse of land, don't even forget that Sambisa extends past Borno to Yobe and all. Our inability to protect our forest area has brought us harm than good. Well, is their action late? Yes, I would say it's late. Will they get success? Only time will tell, because for me, you can't fight armed bandits who are taking over your forest reserve with forest guard. But let's
You
see how
get
it's going to be done. The Office of the National Security Advisor has recruited, state government has recruited, but most forest reserve fall under state jurisdiction. That is what is it called? My own call of concern there, because federal government cannot be taking up state responsibility. So when you look at it, I just feel like, well, let's see the outcome of this. I don't want to judge from the start, but I'm not actually
mm,
convinced, because the forest guard are recruited in Kwara State. Are they going to take over the forest reserve in Edu, Patigi local government area that has suffered a whole lot, or they are going to take over the Okeode forest reserve that these bandits operate from, or they are going to go to the Isanlu, Isin axis, and the Equatorial government axis in Kwara State that extends to that extends to Kogi, and tackle this bandit that has been operating from those forest reserve over a period of time. Well, let's see how success will be required. But I keep saying that you don't put round uh peg in square holes,
square
but it's
holes, yeah.
just the irony of our situation, and also insecurity has been a thing that has given us real headaches. And this insurgent, looking at, there is someone there who doesn't send you, who the other day sent a Christmas present of firing 16 missile into a sovereign nation, can send in more when he feels like. I think most of these terrorists now would be leaving their open space and hibernating in forest reserve, because what is happening is beyond them. And that's why you see
Mm.
Sheikh crying up and down so many interviews, and nobody's picking him up. So you look at all these things and then you ask the question, would they be able to tackle? Well, we still need our military in the forest, because our military, they are stretched, and they are being stretched thin.
It's just a lot when you look at what is going on. When you spoke about Shegumi, I was watching a video yesterday, or was it day for yesterday, yesterday evening, when he was saying that, oh, bandits are part of us. We should let them. And you know what? A lady said, "Who are you? And who are us? Us
Bandit might be
where?"
part of his own setting, but they are not part of our own
I'm
setting,
telling you,
because
she just said, no, maybe you and your
we
family
don't treat
members and the bandits should go and look for somewhere else to stay, but not. No, no,
We
not
don't pick
us.
we
You are
don't pick
well.
up people who carry arms. Yeah, we don't pick up people who carry arms and arm innocent citizens who are going about their daily lives. Only a
Mm-hmm.
coward will hibernate in the forest and arm people who are just going to farm. When you know there are people who are carrying guns and can face you, but you attack when they are not ready, or you attack people who are just
Mm,
going about their daily activities. If you want to fight a war, face those who can fight a war. So I call them
exactly.
cowards, hibernating in bush below their own low self-esteem and unreasonable agenda backed by some individuals who have no care for life.
Mm.
All right, thank you very much, Emmanuel. This is a minute after 8 right here on your Women Radio WFM 91.7. At this point, I think we can go ahead and open up the phone lines for me. Yep. We can go ahead and let us hear from you. 07000 You can also go ahead and dial 09155 Our toll free number is 0800 Text message, WhatsApp message. Feel free to forward it to 07031756537 or 8155917917. So those are the numbers to get in touch with us this morning on the newspaper review on the Full Breakfast Show. My name is Rose. I have Olufemi J with me, and of course Emmanuel, our analyst this morning. All right, go ahead for me.
All right, let's take this first one by from the Punch newspaper. Makinde fire share clash over 30 billion naira relief fund in Ibadan. So basically, the federal government released 50 billion. I said 30 now, and there's 50 because there's been gist about, I mean, back and forth rather. Is it 30 billion? Is it 50 billion? How much really did they give them? So this relief fund was given in 2024 after the explosion in Bodja Ibadan. And Makinde is clarifying through his special advisor that we requested for 50 billion, no, but the federal government only released 30 billion, right? What is billion said? And Fire had sparked controversy on Friday on a TV program where he accused Makinde of failing to disclose the money that he received. You say it's 30 billion, but it's 50 billion that you collect, basically. And so that has been a back and forth that it was 50 billion. Fayose kept on saying it's 50 billion. He kept on saying 50 billion. He said he never said that to Nigerians, so the president can say the explosion is not worth more than 10 billion naira. Our dear analyst, how much did they really give? Maybe you know. How much did they give? How much are they spending? Who is pocketing what? What is this beef between Fayose and Makinde? And Fayose has been really, really brash in the last. I remember that there was a back and forth between him and Obasanjo. Actually, he has not let that one go either. But what is this thing going on? Is this an election tactic? Is it a campaign tactic? What is really going on? Yes, over to you.
I think for number one, for Sheyi Makinde, it reminds me of a proverb in Chinua Achebe's book that the man who brings ant reading logs into his hut should not grumble when lizards begin to pay him
Ah,
a visit. And I
right.
think that is,
Emmanuel.
I think that's Sheyi Makinde for now. You should not grumble when lizard, because it was part of those G5 who, for their own selfish reason, went against the PDP, and they've turned PDP to a shadow of itself,
Of itself.
stripping the party. And what was discussed now is coming outside. So Makinde also should expect attack, because the attack has been coming in a subtle manner. And then until he decided for the first time to do a press briefing that brought about issues on why Wiki wanted to collapse the PDP, and he also has an ambition to contest for presidency. So when you look at all these things, I keep telling Nigerians, never die in their battle. Their war is not for the survival of you and I. Their war is not for better governance. Their war is not for a better Nigeria. Their
Mhm.
war is for their own pockets and their own standing. For Fayoshe, we know he has been out of power, but he has been tilting towards the Wiki-led backed group. And for him, I just feel like sometimes the flight that no one has, no one, no, the flight that has no one to advise him follows the corpse to the ground. That is what happens sometimes, because there are some battles you ought not to fight that you fight. And I think he's just preparing the ground for Wiki expose, because Wiki would soon hold his own press conference and spend 40 minutes of the 1 hour talking about Sheyi Makinde. You know, there's no longer Fubara to talk about now, because
Mm.
Fubara himself has made a move. It was always Fubara for 30 minutes and then Obi Atiku for 45 minutes, or then the remaining 5 minutes will be for what he's doing in the FCT. So, and media has enabled it because we are all looking for money. So you sit down, they pay, they give airtime, and Nigerian listens to this. And that's one of my grievances against media, because in our quest to find money, the political class have bought over what we call the conscience of the nation. And we no longer report the truth or stand by the truth. We report based on the envelope that is being given, and that is sad, where truth is sieved and just and pushed out to the people. So for them, 50 billion, Makinde never declared that 30 billion was given. At least if you ask for 50 billion, they give you 30 billion, that's about 60%. He never declared that 30 billion was given to the state. Until Fayose spoke, and we're having all this expose. Oh, we gave
Yeah.
4.6 billion to the victim. The remaining 20 something billion was used for. I think they should start naming the project they use the money for, because accountability is very important. I think if we don't die in their battle, I keep saying this thing. See, uh, they don't care about us, because if they actually care about us, 30 billion naira can go a long way in education for a state. 30 billion can go in health. So what was the money used for? We don't want all these shenanigans that money was spent on security. No, don't give us fake things the money was spent on. Well, and this is one of the beauty I like, when people connive together to do something, when they start fighting, especially politicians, they have no secrets, because they are trying to protect their own daily bread. At this point, Fayose is also trying to protect his own space with Wike, because as it stands right now, the PDP doesn't seem to be a very good vehicle again. Makinde is trying to take control. Wike is trying to take control. Now the Fubara Wike is fighting at home to ensure that he's in the PDP, so that he can have a hold on him. Fubara has moved to the APC, and Fubara is now being given the structure of the APC in Rivers State. So it's going to be a long battle. The Martin Awule's led House of Assembly that has been dancing reggae up and down instead of doing legislative in Rivers State now at it, because they went to the APC first, but the governor went there, and the APC, the way they operate, they recognize their governor more than any other thing, and they give their governors protection. They give their governors party structure. Look at all the state that their governors have. They have the party structure there. So now it's going to be, oh, I had an agreement during the peace committee that Fubara will not go for second term. He's no longer in Wike's and Fubara is in the PDP. So it's a lot of battle Wike is fighting, and part of those who are fighting the battle with him is Edele Fayose. So they have to fight, but the truth about all this thing is the fact that I think in A Man of the People by Chino Achebe, he said, when a madman walks naked, it is his kinsmen who feels the shame, not himself. Now we are feeling the shame because the way our leaders are behaving. When other leaders are talking about going and getting sustainable development go done, our leaders are talking about, oh, we came together to destroy the party. And this is what happens when party has no basic ideology. When party has no when people join political parties have no basic ideology of what they stand for. We've seen people who are Republicans for years in the US, they've not changed. For Democrats for years, they've not changed, because every party and every governance means is based on ideology. We have conservatives, and then we have Labour in the UK. They've not changed because every party is based on ideology. But in Nigeria, every political party is based on ideology, but every politician belonging to a political party is based on stomach infrastructure. So that's where you see them moving for loaves of bread and 30 pieces of silver when they are not Judas Iscariot. So it just boils down to the fact that at this point in time in our nation, when we should be having leaders who speaks to issues, we are having leaders who are dancing. I don't want to use the other word, but they are dancing, and we know how they are dancing. But it is not them who are feeling the shame, because most politicians, I don't think they have shame. It is us who are feeling the shame, because when you want to compete with other countries in similar climes, they look at you through the lens of your leaders, and they see that this is the debate that is going on amongst them. So it's very sad. I don't want to debate whether, oh, the money was given, how much was given. They've admitted that they got 30 billion, and uh it's a whole lot of money for a state. How much is their state allocation that they are getting 30 billion? And you put that into context, I think they got about maybe 2 or 3 months. That should be their 2 or 3 months allocation, plus the influx of money coming into the state after the removal of subsidy. Yes, some school of thought will argue that Makinde is building roads and all. And I ask, is the quality of life of the people better in Oyo State? I don't live in Oyo State, and I think Oyo indigene would have to say that. But at this point, I think there has to be accountability and full disclosure, because accountability is part of governance. And if a government is not accountable to the people, the government then is not for the people. So now that they are dancing and we are seeing it in public, I'm expecting a whole lot of other things to happen. Other expose. Wiki is going to have his own family gathering, town or press conference. And then I see senior colleagues sitting down there, not asking him the right question about governance, and laughing and asking him questions about Fubara and Makinde. Trust me, listen to the, if you have time that you don't want to use, listen and watch the press briefing, and then you hear the questions that will be put to a government official that they should be asking about accountability, asking him about waste disposal that people are complaining about, asking him about insecurity in the FCT, but yet they will spend 45 minutes of that 1 hour asking him about Sheyi Makinde, about PDP. That is the irony we find ourselves. So when we have this opportunity, I think we have to just speak the truth, because the truth is no longer sacrosanct in the media world, in this part of the world. Only a few speak the truth. And I don't blame most people that don't, because we have to survive. And survival means you have he who pays the piper. What is it called? I think I'm getting to know old people's proverb now, not your determining the truth. So I think at this point we just have to see as it unfolds. But it is very unlikely that the battle they are fighting for the soul of the PDP. See, everything happening now is just for the soul of the PDP, and it pains me a lot that people who had benefited from the PDP, people like Ayodele Fayose, Yesom Wike, all of them are the ones that are fighting to pull the PDP down. But even the person they are fighting in the PDP, Atiku Abubakar, has long sailed to the
Yeah.
ADC and has left them to struggle and fight. Tambuwa has left, and a lot of some other people will also be leaving. Maybe Ben Obi will also move with Peter Obi, who I'm very sure is about to officially crisscross into the ADC. So it's going to be a whole lot in the next few months. This is election. Makinde also needs a vehicle to project his own ambition, and it's going to be a whole lot. And Wike is fighting, because see, without the PDP, Wike has no bargaining power with the
Right.
APC again, and is only serving at the mercy of the president, who is now Bola Ahmed Tinubu, who can now decide to be done with him because there is no electoral value in him again. And we know what happens to ex-leaders, ex-governors who hold no electoral value. They are often dismissed and shunned when things are happening. So it depends on the larger game on the chessboard. So what you are saying is just a game on the
Good morning, women radio.
We'll be moving up
We
and
have a
down.
Good
call.
morning, women radio.
Good morning.
Good morning, women radio.
Good
Good
morning.
morning.
Good morning, madam. Good morning, madam. Fume. Good morning, madam Rose. Good morning, Emmanuel. I'm enjoying ya. No, I love you, and you just everything with you back, and that means a lot. So I really agree 100% on what you are saying. These people, their interest come first. Thank God we are realizing that, and we're not be fighting it because we support to be. I support Atiku. Don't support we start. We come on radio and start abusing us. That's what I would like to understand. Their interest come first. I'm looking forward for the day a Nigerian will be the president. This country will have everything. The only area I don't agree with you is that we should always be the truth if we want to make heaven. The liar can do anything. We have no excuse when it comes to God to lie about anything. That's the new. We should always do the truth. That's whatever we are going through. That's how we can move this nation forward. We hold our government account. I believe what you write, this everything you say, I don't need to say what you say. I think Nigeria will be great again. If we all can do the right thing and do the right thing, do the right thing, the ministry do the right thing, police do the right thing, every one of us, and definitely will do what is right. Nigeria will change. Things will change. Nigeria will move forward. Then, if we pray, God will hear our prayer. But if we continue in our own doing, it's clear in the Bible. We will call and call. God say, I will turn my back. I will place my fear. But the way we are relating to one another is so okay. Look at now for you to rent a house. Look at the way landlord that is just replacing the house. Does that show we love one another? That's why we don't really love one another. Even those people selling what they are selling is fake. Some of them are selling poison to their neighbor in order to make money. They don't want to make this money. Where are we taking it? Do you know that this same money, some people have gone. Some people are prepared for this new year. And tomorrow, many people are going. Also, all of us, one of us, as we come, so we go. But remember, we are going back to America to give account. And that's where you are spend the time. So we should love one another and care for one another. And anywhere we are, remember, God has placed us there to make change anywhere we are. So if the people say Gabawa, Edeka needs the long, the fear of God is with you. I believe Nigeria will be great again. God bless you. God bless Nigeria. Thank you all.
Thank you so much, Evangelist Dixon, for your message. Um, let's have the fear of God. That's what he said, and I absolutely agree. Let's take some messages before we go on. This one is President traveled out again. Who started this culture in Nigeria where elders line up to greet the president and repeat it when he returns? I hope this habit ends when new leadership comes into power. It feels outdated and primitive today. While the world discusses sustainability, Nigerians are asking for stability, security, and relief. That is from Olusuga Ajayi Odonla Ikorodu. Thank you so much for your message. This one, good morning, WFM and Emmanuel. Sometimes in November, one of your analysts by name Adeyemi told us about some fictitious implications if US should come and fight the terrorists. He said, if America takes over the battle, that Nigeria will pay for every bomb, bullets, rockets, gas, and as well as fuel their equipment. Help me ask him when the guns and bombs went ablazing from the Gulf of Guinea without Nigeria's knowledge. Who paid for the items and who fueled their equipment? It's high time people stopped telling us things that are not verifiable through your station. For our information, what happened on Christmas Day was testing the microphone. The main sounds are coming that will sweep across the north and flush out the terrorists. On recognition of Somaliland by Israel, freedom is a universal language. The people of Somaliland need to determine their future, beg your pardon, their own way. Nobody should be a stumbling block to their quest for freedom. I stand with America and Israel, says Eze, still in the southeast. Mrs. Oboli, good morning. We see your message today. Good morning, ladies, and wonderful morning to Mr. Emmanuel. Trust you all had a wonderful celebration and blissful weekend. Mr. Emmanuel hasn't responded to Rose's question on his thoughts about the US airstrike. I was actually going to ask him as well. So, Emmanuel, please get ready. Regarding the forest guard issue, however how laudable it is, I pray it's not a sham or a dead on arrival initiative if there's no proper implementation aimed at accountability. I'd also like Women Radio in subsequent days to bring in a guest or analyst that will break down this new tax law because it's appearing to me like a beautiful cake laced with poison underneath. Wishing you all love and light. Thanks for the concise and precise analysis this morning. Thank you so much, Mrs. Oboli. Lastly, we have Good Morning Crew, compliments of the season. When you build your government on lies, eye service and propaganda, hypocrisy, you can't prosper. It's like putting an aguero in the vault of a central bank. It will loot it aground. They can never be accountable to you. Your president has traveled as usual, cruising by January. They will tax the daylight of you. All the subsidy money, PHCN tariff, bank tax, agro tax, what it is used for, they are looting and living their luxurious lifestyle, telling you to tighten your belt, turning you to beggars and amojiri in the midst of plenty. Thank you so much for your message, Leko from Lagos. Now, over to you, Emmanuel, because I was actually going to come to you to ask you about the airstrike. We heard about the airstrike. I mean, we talked about it on Friday morning. Yeah,
Yeah.
my review because it happened on Christmas Day at night, and I remember Rose saying should rather this not have happened on Christmas than all of that. But Emmanuel, what is your take on the airstrike that happened?
Well, I think I've tried enough not to put a comment to that, and I've not spoken about it actually in public since the airstrike happened. Just been a personal opinion I've expressed to people. But when you look at what happened, I just feel like, see, at this point, the CG Musa, when he was chief of defense staff, came up and said that they actually need help. And I think for me, help came. But one issue I have with help is I just don't want the help dropping anywhere. I want the help that is coming to drop in the midst of these terrorists because that's who they are. So if the help coming drops in the midst of these terrorists, I have no issue. See,
Mm.
if if they carry out 50 strikes and they can annihilate and kill all of them in the forest, I have no basic issues about it. People who are saying that, oh, we can do it ourselves, and I asked the question, Shebi, we carried our super Tucano to go and do show of force in Benin Republic, but here we are, bandits kidnapping, operating freely, and we've not been able to do something. And I think this should be a wake-up call to us because was it November that Trump spoke out, and by December he has carried out action, and nobody knew what was going to happen. But if it was within our intelligence table, we will have seen leaks up and down. If not from an online paper that starts with X, you will have seen a whole lot of memo flowing up and down. And even those who you want to strike, we know something is coming. So I think the airstrike, as long as it is the terrorists they are striking, is a welcome development because it seems that intelligence gathering has been a source that has affected the operation and maybe lack of modern day equipment by our soldiers to fight these people. I will not speak much about it, but that's my stand. But if you want to know more, speak to a soldier who has been at the battlefront and has asked his formation, whether a forward operating base or a normal base or his platoon attacked. And when they tell you the stories, you will actually think that we need help to move up and to win this war. We can't do it on our own at this point. Hope I answered your question.
Mm. Rose, did he answer your question? Or was he
Yeah, I just
diplomatic about it?
yeah, I feel like there's a lot. Like Emmanuel said, he has refused to talk about it publicly, except for his own personal opinion, which I think, he just wants to put it out there. But I know that Emmanuel has a lot. So maybe not to bring it here,
Mm.
because if you
We'll do
might just
round
bring it,
table
it
in the office.
might just explode a lot of things. But hey, we'll just leave it at that. Our time is fast spent already.
All right. Yes, we
Yeah.
have come to the end, to the end, to the end. We will take you up on the. I believe that the new tax law is doing everybody wish, 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 wish. Emmanuel, do you have any idea? In 1 minute before we go, what are your thoughts on this new tax law? I know we've talked about this before, but what are your thoughts on it in 1 minute? And then we will work on getting somebody as well to come and break it down for our newspaper review family.
When you find water rising up to your ankle, that's the time to do something about it, not when it's around your neck. I think at this point, the water is already around our neck. When it was on our ankle, we did nothing about it, and now it's on our neck, and we're trying to do something. I think that is late already. You don't kill a fire when the building has burnt completely. You kill the fire from the start. For me, I think proper understanding of the tax law has to be in place. But I have a serious issue with this. You don't tax your way into prosperity, you tax your way from prosperity.
Right.
Our country is trying to tax its way into prosperity from its poor citizen. And that reminds me of Rehoboam in the Bible when the son of Solomon, when Solomon died, and he said, your father was the wealthiest man, but he put a choke on our neck. And they asked him to remove the choke on their neck, and he said, no, he's going to put more. And the kingdom splits into two. I think for this tax law, at this point, it's going to be a whole lot because most Nigerians fail to understand it from the start. But revenue is when country is in prosperity, because you and I will pay the price for it. When Biden was in power, tax was taken up, prices went up. When Trump came and gave tax relief to businesses, prices came down. That is the way society works. You don't tax your way into prosperity. Our government see tax as a form of revenue generation that must be done. And that is why airline ticket is expensive. Because I've told you before on this platform that a lot of that money, when Keyamo said there's nothing they can do about it, I said it's a lie. That a lot of that money goes for tax and levies paid. And about 30% goes to the airline. So if you are paying 350, calculate 30% or lesser. That what goes to the airline that you are flying. All that goes into levy. So we see tax as a form of, we are still having this colonial mentality where colonial masters tax us for their lifestyle. And we see tax as a form of revenue generation. But when people are not in wealth and you tax them, you are taxing your way to prosperity, and you cannot be prosperous if your people are not prosperous, because you
Very
have about
true.
133 million people living in poverty. If your people are prosperous, then tax comes to you naturally because they are living in abundance. And that is the problem. For the new tax law, just understand it and then you'll be fine. If you don't understand it, you're on your own.
Thank you so much, Emmanuel. Yeah, as we go, I like what you said because that's something that I realized with Nigeria. When we start hearing things, nobody's really checking because we just say, "What is the day?" They've started it again, and then before you know, you realize that all we have put ourselves in a chokehold of our own doing. Hopefully, we start learning from this and doing something about it. With that being said, we have come to the end of the Full Breakfast Show this morning. Thank you so much, Emmanuel, for coming. We shall be seeing you next year because the next time you come in will be next year. We'll see you next year. Have a fantastic 2026. And to you, our dear newspaper family, thank you for being a part of women radio about of our newspaper family. We truly appreciate you. 9 o'clock is the news. 9:05 is Helen. 10 a.m. is Radio Doctor. My name is Fumi Bangala.
My name
Hi.
is Rose Yusuf. Sir, do well to have a great day ahead. Am I muted? Can you hear me?
No, I can
Okay.
hear you. Yes.
Okay, great. Still want to have a great day ahead, and take time to plan for the new year. I'm not saying you seriously do it all, but just take time to do so. All right, do well to have a great day ahead. Good morning.